Yo, what's up, everybody?
Fields the
Jets Giants. That's always a fun game. The Jets and Giants are actually playing this year, so I figured let me get this game up. I normally only like to put up championship games or Super Bowls or something like that, but these are kind of novelty games that are kind of cool, so figured let's put those up. And like I said, they are playing this year for real. It's a Giants home game. The last time the Jets and Giants played, it was a Jets home game, and the Giants destroyed them. That was the game where Victor Cruz had the 99-yard touchdown catch, and that's put them in the Super Bowl, because if they would have lost that game, that was 2011, if they would have lost that game, they would have knocked them out of playoff contention. And
pass hits the ground and goes.
I don't know what Eli's throwing there, but that would have knocked them out of playoff contention. So they won that game against the Jets. Then the following week, they had to play Dallas for the division. It was a home game, and they destroyed Dallas. 3 weeks earlier in that season, they played Dallas in Dallas, and
picking up another first down for them.
It was funny because Dallas went for a field goal. I'm sorry, yeah, Dallas went for a field goal to win the game, and they hit it. But right before they kicked the ball, the Giants called a timeout to ice the kicker, and icing the kicker doesn't work. But they've already statistically proven that, but hands down that icing the kicker doesn't work. But in this case, they called a timeout. The Dallas made the field goal, but they got the timeout in. The next play, when they went for a field goal again, Jason Pierre-Paul blocked the field goal, and so the Giants won that game. So then, like I said, a few weeks later they played the Jets. They beat them. Then they played Dallas again for the division, and they destroyed them. And then the following week, it was a home game against the Falcons in the playoffs. They crushed them. The Falcons only scored 2 points, as my guys just stumble all over the place because Geno Smith's RG3 is the greatest quarterback ever, where he can just run the ball everywhere. I can't wait to knock him on his little bitch ass and fumble him. But so they beat the Falcons. The Falcons only scored 2 points, and it was on a safety. Look at Lawrence Taylor making his Meadowlands debut.
That brings the play to an end.
I just picked him up, and this is his first game. On my team, and he just makes an interception. Way to go, LT! Make your presence known, baby. Now I'm gonna get sacked, but I don't care. Let me come down off that high for a second. Come back to earth. But that's why you get Lawrence Taylor, because he's just nasty, and you're not gonna throw passes on him in his house. I don't care what you say. So anyway, so they beat the Falcons. Then the following week they go to Green Bay. 15-1 Green Bay team, by the way. Look at Hester laying out for that ball. He's showing some hands. 15-1 Packer team. They beat them. Then they go to San Francisco and they play in an epic NFC Championship game where Eli Manning just got killed, and he kept getting up and kept throwing the ball. I think he got sacked like 6 times in that game. Oh my God! I almost threw a pick right back to him.
Well, the offense did.
I think Eli threw the ball 55 times in that game. It was raining. It was muddy. Like, that was an old school, hard hitting Niners Giants game. That game could have been played in the 80s. That's how good it was. And then we all know what happened in the Super Bowl. They went down and beat the Patriots again. So, and it was all because of Victor Cruz going 99 yards for a touchdown against the Jets. That's what set them up and launched them, because they were losing that game at that time. They were losing that game to the Jets at that time, and the Jets had him pinned down at the 1 yard line. It was 3rd and long, and I remember even the commentators were saying that. So basically, what you want to do here is try and get some field position for your punter. You want to give him room to punt, so he's not punting from his end zone. And here comes the quit. I thought he was going to quit, but they were saying he's trying to get some room for his punter, so he's not punting from the back of his end zone. And then Cruz goes 99 yards for a touchdown, and that was all she wrote. Rex Ryan covers up the Giants Super Bowl trophies because it was a Jets home game, and Brandon Jacobs didn't like it. He called him after the game. He's like, well, that's what Rex Ryan is. He's a disrespectful bastard. And it's fine with us. We'll just take our win. It was nice.
he can make it happen.
So that pretty much launched them. So I'm curious to see how this year's Jets-Giants game is going to turn out because they're always fun, somehow. The preseason games, those are not fun because somehow it's either someone on the Jets that's a significant player gets really badly injured or someone on the Giants gets severely badly injured. Jason Sehorn, he got injured Jets-Giants preseason game, ruined his career. Chad Pennington, he got ruined in a Jets-Giants preseason game. And it didn't ruin his career, but it didn't help it either. He wound up had a really bad shoulder injury, and I think he missed like 6 or 7 games that year. And after that, he kept re-injuring the same shoulder. So I don't know if it was because of that or whatever the case, but it just seems that there are always significant injuries in those games. Stevie Brown, a couple years ago, after coming off a 9-interception year, he goes down.
Play action. Looking long to Julio Jones. Makes the play.
Well, the way the rules.
It was a lucky catch, but it was a good catch.
You can't hit the receivers. You can't hit the quarterback.
Back in, I think it was 89, the Giants were making their playoff run, and a lot of people say that Giants team was probably the best Giants team of all time. They're better than the 86 team. And that was the Flipper Anderson game. I'm not going to get into it, the game. You guys can look it up. Just look it up on YouTube, the Flipper Anderson game. And that cost the Giants a playoff berth. And it took them another 2 years to go back. Overthrown? Oh, Peterson, nice bat. I thought that was overthrown, but he almost caught it.
End zone and knock it down. That's what you do.
So that knocked the Giants out of the playoffs that year and cost them a Super Bowl. Giants could potentially have
with their set of receivers
7 Super Bowls, if you think about it. All right? You had the Flipper Anderson game. Look at him. Oh, my God. Amukamara played the perfect defense you ever saw in your life. And this guy just catches the ball off his knee.
If you punch it in,
You talk about a gift luck play right there. That's it right there. That's Giants Jets for you, though. Like I said, crazy things happen. I'm not saying I wanted to, but I almost want him to score only because I don't want him to quit. And there he goes. He just scored. So let's see if we can score back and just keep this game going a little bit. Oh! What is that? You morph through the player? That's a blocked extra point, and I morphed through the player. Like he's not even there. It's a ghost. I guess a ghost was holding the ball. Holy shit.
Fields the football.
So anyway, so the Giants could have potentially had 7 Super Bowls. All right, they went to the Super Bowl in 2000. Look at Devin Hester just getting that edge. That's what you call speed. Oh. There you go. Just take it right back. That's a nice touchdown.
You can never talk enough about special teams.
You had the Flipper Anderson game that a lot of people said that the Giants would have won the Super Bowl that year. Now, I know you can never predict. You don't know if that's what would have happened. But most NFL insiders will say that the Giants would have won the Super Bowl that year. So we'll say that's one. All right. Then you have the Super Bowl in 2000, where they come off destroying the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, 41-0. Well, this guy's bidding for a kick return of his own. Breaking tackles.
The Jets.
If they would have showed up in that Ravens game, who knows? So you say that could have been a Super Bowl. That puts them at, they have 5 right now. No, I'm sorry, they have 4 now.
Makes the play.
Man.
Peterson that time.
I probably should have went for the pick there, but I went for the bat down instead and just overplayed it. That's fine. So they have 4 already. So now you have those 2 that could have been a possibility. Then the last one where Plaxico Burress shot himself in the leg. All right. The Giants were hands down the best team in football at that point. Nobody was touching them. They were 9-1. They were averaging like 33 points a game and just killing people.
This is where
they gave him a catch on that. Are you kidding me?
Even though they're down more than 7.
Wow. right, well, it's Jets Giants, so I guess it's going to happen.
For a field goal.
1st and 10. Play action fake. Looking to throw.
So Burris shoots himself in the leg and cost him a Super Bowl that year. Nobody was touching the Giants that year. Nobody. And they were 9-1, like I said, when that happened. And then he wound up.
The defenders around the receiver.
They wound up losing the last 3 out of 4. They did get home field. They finished 12-4. Now he's going to go for an onside kick. That's the Devin Hester effect right there. If he gets this, I'll be pissed. Oh, he almost got that. Lawrence Taylor.
Unable to pull off.
You got to do a better job than that.
The hands team.
I know you made an interception. You're feeling good about yourself, but you can't let up.
Offense now coming out.
So they were 12-4 that year.
The line, and
They had to beat the Panthers to even clinch home field, which they did. They rushed for over 200 yards in that game. The Giants did, as a matter of fact. Look at Barry Sanders. Get that block. Wow, I can't get a block. That's all right. That's fine.
The Giants' offensive line
So
will be whooping it up tomorrow when they watch.
they come back in the playoffs after they beat the Panthers. They rush for 200 yards. They clinch home field. They get into the playoffs. They play the Eagles. They lose 22-11. It's about an odd score. Look at Reese. Reese showing a little bit of his wheels. Slowest guy on the team, and he got some wheels.
He does all the blocking.
So they lose to the Eagles 22-11. You want to talk about a weird score? That's it.
is good.
22-11. And then, like I said, we know what happened in 2011. They won a Super Bowl. But they could have potentially had, I'm not going to say 3 Super Bowls, but they definitely, the Ravens won. Because they played in the Super Bowl. If they would have showed up for that game, who knows? They just didn't show up. I understand that most of it was, defense and all that. But the Ravens offense didn't do anything in that game either. If you look up their stats, if you take away Kerry Collins' interceptions in that game,
It's on the field here.
okay, and I know you can't take away the interceptions because they're interceptions, but take away the interceptions. Come on, Patrick Willis, make that pick.
Every quarterback.
Take away the interceptions for a second, okay?
They can be.
Trent Dilfer, his stats were actually worse than Kerry Collins' stats.
Drop by the defense.
So it wasn't like the Ravens' offense was blowing the doors off anybody either. What, are you going to give me a face mask here? Okay,
Losing one. The defense accepts the penalty.
that's fine.
And now they'll try over again on.
So if they would have showed up in that game just a little bit, because their defense was playing great in that game, the Giants' defense. It was the special teams and the kick return. Not the kick returns. It was the special teams and Kerry Collins throwing the picks that really killed that game for them. And Collins was not a bad quarterback either. He was actually a really good quarterback for the Giants.
Give a lot of credit to the defense.
He was the best quarterback they had since Phil Simms. It took them basically almost 10 years to replace their quarterback. Now think about that for a second. Everybody bitches about Eli Manning, which I still don't understand why they bitch about Eli Manning. But
Left side.
would you rather have, in some people's eyes, a so-so quarterback in Eli Manning, which he's not so-so, but some people think he is? All right, would you rather have that? Would you rather have to keep searching for a quarterback every year? All right, it's gonna be a dark day. It's gonna be a dark day for the Giants and Giants fans when Eli Manning either retires or if he goes and plays for somebody else, because they're gonna miss him big time. It's gonna take him, unless there's another Andrew Luck in that draft. Unless there's another Andrew Luck in that draft. All right. Where they can get him, it's going to be a long time before they find a replacement for Eli Manning. So, all right, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.